يا قديسة مريم يا وات الله صلي لأجلنا الخطأ الآن وفي ساعة موتنا آمين.
The Bishop of Zakhle has more on his mind than usual. His diocese straddles the Bekaa Valley, the route by which refugees flee Syria across the border into Lebanon. They say the fields and orchards of the Bekaa Valley fed the Roman Empire. Just over the hills in the distance is the frontier with the Assad dynasty. Since Islamist rebels fell like a wolf on the Christian fold of Malula, such as can throw themselves on the bishop's mercy. This refugee needs help to pay the rent. The bishop promises that if she gives her name, she'll go onto a list